to Mystic Marama. My name is Rama and I am an intuitive tarot reader. I have been providing tarot readings for over 6 years, going on 7 years. And in today's video, we are going to be taking a look at what you can expect for your next level up. This is going to be another podcast style reading, just because I feel like just focusing on the audio means that I can really just focus on the message and what the cards are saying, rather than having to worry about camera stuff and lighting and the way that I look or the way that my nails look or anything like that. And I also personally always listen to tarot reading videos playing in the background while I do something else, so that's kind of my intention with this. You don't have to sit and stare at the screen. You can go about your day and continue doing whatever it is that you're doing and just kind of let this play in the background like a little podcast. So what I want you to do for this reading today is I want you to pick an angel number on the screen. There might also be more than one pile that kind of speaks to you as well, so you can definitely pick more than one group as well if you'd like to. And one of my tips for selecting a group, if you're kind of feeling a little bit stuck on deciding, is literally rolling a dice or using a random number generator on Google or something like that. So I'm going to give you some time to pick out which angel number is speaking to you, and then you can find the timestamps for your group in the description below. Kia ora, group number 1, and welcome to your reading on how you are leveling up. So if you chose the angel number 555, then this is your reading. Before I get into what your cards have to say, I feel like I want to provide some clarity and context into the angel number, because I do feel like the angel number that you chose is kind of really relevant to kind of what you're going through and kind of what you're wanting for yourself. So 555 is associated with change and very deep, significant changes as well. Some people can kind of look at the angel number with a little bit of fear, because it can kind of sometimes symbolize a bit of chaos, because change is not like this neat and tidy thing. It can be something that is quite draining, chaotic, unwanted, scary, and daunting. But I just kind of want to reassure you that I do feel like the changes that are taking place in your life are things that you want. I feel like the changes that are taking place in your life are definitely positive and definitely things that are kind of bringing you into alignment. I feel like what is more chaotic is maybe more so where you are at right now. So this is confirmation that this reading is for you if you resonate with the following. If you feel like your life has kind of been unstable, or you've been feeling a little bit lost, if you've been feeling overwhelmed, if you've been feeling like you don't know who you are anymore, if you feel like you've kind of fallen out of balance with yourself, if you've noticed that, you are angrier than usual, maybe you are noticing that you're getting more frustrated easily, maybe you energetically feel heavier, maybe you feel a little bit more pessimistic and down or stressed than usual, and kind of just in general, if you feel like you are in a season where things aren't really working out for you, like things are moving forward, but then at the same time, you may feel like you've regressed. So if you are somebody that had gone through, I want to say like a weight loss, change, if you finally lost some weight, something that may resonate for you is that you may have gained some weight. If you had gotten into a really good routine, gotten into a really good flow, you might be feeling like you've lost that flow, you've kind of lost that routine, and things are just kind of like not feeling in alignment for you. So you might be feeling a little bit out of funk energetically, I want to say. And also another sign that this reading is definitely for you is if you have been feeling like you've been pushing shit uphill and you've just been having like quite a rough time. It's not something that you can't handle, because obviously you're still here and you're listening to this reading, so you can handle it, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't take a toll on you, So if you've been feeling really exhausted, really drained, and you've just kind of been like thinking to yourself like, oh my gosh, I really, really want to get better. I really want to, get back to how I used to be. I really, I want to feel like myself again. I want my spark back. I want my routine back. I want to feel in alignment. I want to feel good again. Then this is definitely your reading. I'm also here to reassure you again that the changes that are taking place for you are going to be good for you. They're going to be positive, and they're going to be positive changes that really transform your life. So I feel like one of the ways that you are going to be leveling up this year is that I feel like literally your life is going to change. Your daily routines are going to change. Your habits are going to change. Your mindset is going to change. And perhaps even your physical environment changes as well. So now that I've kind of got that little intro out of the way, now I'm going to dive into exactly how you are going to be leveling up. Okay, so what I did was I pulled your cards for you. I have some tarot cards and I have some oracle cards, and then kind of just for fun, I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder, what song is for group number 1. And I kind of thought of this artist, and his name is Randy Orton. And I pressed shuffle, and I, let my Spotify shuffle choose a song, and literally the song that you got was a song by Randy Orton, and the song is called Key Glock. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get copyrighted, but maybe write that down and check it out on Spotify. It's a hip hop rap song, so if that's not your thing, you might not like that song. But I was just kind of like looking through the lyrics, and I was looking at the lyrics and I was looking at the cards, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's actually crazy. It is actually like in alignment. So Randy Orton is basically talking about somebody that is going to be getting their money, so I feel like your money is going to be coming up, okay? Some of the lyrics are, and please don't laugh at me because it's going to sound silly when it comes out of my mouth. It sounds, like badass and doesn't sound weird when he says it. It's going to sound weird when I say it. But some of the lyrics that I feel like really resonate with how you are leveling up is, I'ma go get a bag. I've done made it. I keep Nina with me. She's a baddie. I be popping my shit. They can't stand it. All of the hits with the ratchet. I'm sorry. I'm going to maybe stop pulling out the lyrics because it really, really, really does sound silly. Okay, another lyric is I'm savage, but don't call me Randy. Okay. Sorry, that probably really does sound really silly when I say it and it comes out of my mouth. So that is in alignment with your cards because I feel like whoever you are indeed having a level up in terms of your money and your career, okay? So I feel like you are going to be going through a career glow up and you're going to be going through a money glow up. So I feel like there's going to be definitely something about your career that changes. You might be starting something new, or if you're already doing something, I feel like you're going to get better at what you're doing and you're going to be getting more monetary gain, you know? So if money has been a little bit slow for you, but you feel like you're in the right setting, you feel like you're doing the right thing, then it's not, you know, it's not like you're jumping into another field. It's just that you're refining your practices, you're working harder, you're really dedicating yourself to what it is that you do, and you're getting really, really good at it. I kind of feel like you're going to be like leveling up in a way in your career where you become somebody that is very respected in your field, and you are going to become somebody that is known for their perfection. I feel like you are a perfectionist. I feel like whatever it is that you do incredibly well, extremely well, even if you don't see it like yourself, because I feel like you are quite critical on yourself. You know, you're not as forgiving on yourself if you kind of like make little mistakes or imperfections. You know, you're always looking at what you can do better. So I definitely feel like you're going to be leveling up in your career, and as a result of your level up in your career, you're going to be making more money. And I feel like there might even be kind of like a period where all of a sudden things just kind of go boom and you get more money than you kind of thought that you would get, or you know, like you get an influx of bookings, you get an influx of kind of like clients, or you know, I because I'm just really feeling like maybe you are in a service based industry. So you could be a beautician, you could be somebody that is like a tattoo artist, you could be somebody that is like you deal with contracts, you know, so you work for an organization, but you have to get clients in to make the money, you know, so you have to sign on clients. That's kind of like what I'm getting. You could also be somebody that is like more solo, like a solopreneur, and you know, you really depend on bookings and clients and sales and things like that. You could also be in a field where your work is commission based, so you could work in jewelry, and you know, you make money based on like your sales and things like that, and you've got KPOs that you need to meet, so you might also work in retail. So I'm just kind of like feeling that type of vibe, so hopefully that resonates. Those are kind of like the examples that I can think of. So when I say you're going to be leveling up, not only are you going to get better at what you're doing, but you're like going to have a season where you are just completely slammed. So if things are a little bit quiet for you right now, you know, if you know, you might have a client here and there, you know, you might not be like doing completely bad, but you know, it's a little bit slower right now for you. So if that's the case, what I want to say is enjoy the peace and quiet, because I feel like you're going to be rushed off your feet at some point before the end of the year. So I'm recording this at the end of April or like mid-April. So I feel like I want to say between June and August, maybe September, like that window of time is going to be like, that's where things are really going to pop off for you. So enjoy the peace and quiet. That's what I want to say. And I also feel like you're turning into a baddie. I mean, I feel like you are already a baddie, but you might be feeling like you lost your baddie. You know what I mean? You might be feeling like a dormant baddie. And if you're a baddie, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. When you are a baddie, you go through seasons where sometimes you just feel like, oh my God, I'm not a baddie anymore. And you look at old photos of yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, I was such a baddie. And oh my God, now I'm not a baddie anymore and I just want to be a baddie again, you know. And you might, like, you seriously might be looking at old photos of yourself and be like, oh my God, what the hell? I looked so good. I didn't realize how much power I had at that time, you know. So you could be like really looking back at old photos of yourself and kind of being like, oh my gosh, I really have slid back. I've really regressed. Like, you might be not posting as much on social media anymore, you know, because you just feel like you're just, oh my gosh, I'm just not it anymore, you know. And what I want to say is you are going to become better than what you were in the past, okay? So you see those old photos of yourself where you're like, damn, I looked good, or like, damn, my body was tea, and like now my body is like really not tea. You are going to get body tea, but better, okay? And what I mean by that, this is just an example. Say you lost some weight, and you might be in a position right now where you've gained the weight back, and you look back at old photos and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that my body was tea back then, and now my body's not tea. I wish my body was tea. Here's the thing. Not only is your body going to be tea again, but it's going to be tea again in healthier ways. So you may have gone through, a weight loss period, but you may have lost that weight through unhealthy ways. You might have been like severely depressed at that time. You might have been like, oh my gosh, I don't want to say it because that sounds really harsh, but like, you might have been like broke, you know. So when people were like, oh my God, girl, you're looking so good, you've lost so much weight, you're like, oh my God, thanks. And in your head you're like, thanks, I'm starving, thanks, I can't afford to eat properly. So yeah, I'm involuntarily doing OMAD, okay, because I can't afford to have 3 balanced, nourished meals a day. So thanks so much for that, Tiffany. But yeah, body tea, I guess. You know what I mean? So I feel like you're going to get body tea again, but this time it's not going to be because you're depressed or because you're going through a heartbreak, or I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. I really don't know if I can say it on YouTube, but like, substances, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna go too far down that rabbit hole, but like, if that resonates and you listen to it and it resonates, you know what I mean. You know what I mean, if that resonates for you. So I'm just gonna leave it there. So I feel like you are going to be glowing up and taking care of your health. So you're being healthy. You're not just focused on the way that you look, you're focused on being healthy, because yeah, things have changed for you. You're changing, okay? And sometimes we need to regress a little bit so that we can, it's like we can recalibrate, we can regroup, we can plan, we can learn from the past and kind of do better. And I feel like that's what is happening for you. So you have the 9 of Wands and the Queen of Swords. When I saw the 9 of Wands, the first thing that I thought of was like boundaries. And then I pulled the Queen of Swords and I was like, damn, double boundaries. What are you doing? Are you building like a fortress or something like that? Like, what's going on? I feel like one of the ways that you are leveling up is you are getting so good at protecting your peace and protecting your energy, and like not letting people walk all over you, not letting people, take advantage of you, not letting shit slide, okay? And I feel like you're a very beautiful person, to your core, okay? I feel like you are a lover girl, deep, deep down. You might not like portray that and like put that out into the world. You might be somebody that is, you might struggle with verbally expressing how you feel about people, because we have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is like, she is not going to tell you like how much she loves you and be like all smoochy and clingy and all of that sort of like fluffy stuff. She probably finds that sickening, really, but she might say that if she's drunk. So I feel like you have like a little bit of a barrier going on, but the thing is I feel like in the past, people have taken advantage of you. People have walked all over you. You're very generous, you're very loving, and you're very giving to your chosen people, okay? And so I feel like people have really exploited that, and you've had to like cut people off. You have literally had to, detach from people, and that might be part of, the challenges and stuff that you've been going through. You've like been grieving connections that you didn't want to lose. You've had to break up with people. You've had to cut off friends. You've had to distance yourself from people that you genuinely loved so freaking much. You were like, I feel like you are a ride or die, but you had to really distance yourself from some people, because it's like you woke up to the disrespect, you woke up to the manipulation, you woke up to the games that people would play, and it's kind of like you got like disgusted with yourself, because you're like, shame on them for treating me like that. I'm a good person. I'm not a shitty person. I'm not a terrible person. I don't just like stab people in the back for fun. I don't, I'm not a sneaky, slimy, shady, little ratty, little beady little snake. I'm really good to people I love. So shame on them for treating me like that, but also low-key shame on me for sticking around, because they've done this before. I can't be shocked. I can't be shocked anymore. They've already done something shitty to me before. They've done it again, and now I look like the fool because I'm sticking around for it. So I feel like you've really had to push those people away, and really distance yourself from those people. And I feel like as a result, your social circle has gotten smaller. Your phone is not blowing up as much as it used to, because you have been trying to heal. Like, I feel like there's been some really genuinely significant relationships that you have like actually had to take the time to heal from, and so you haven't really been open into replacing that connection. Or maybe like you are open, but you're just finding that you are so much more closed off than what you used to be, because, let's call it for what it is. You're probably traumatized by some people. So, that doesn't heal overnight. It takes time. And you're like, how long is this going to take? Like, how long is this going to heal? Because I don't want to be alone. I don't want to like be like this. I want to be open to other people. So I feel like something that is changing for you is that you are going to be more open with people, but you're not going to be naive anymore, okay? You are going to be alert and aware. You're not going to be delulu in love anymore or in friendships, okay? If you catch a snake diss, you're seeing the snake diss. And you're like, okay, I see that diss, and now I'm going to respond accordingly. You know, it doesn't have to be a big, huge thing. It doesn't have to be like a massive blowout. It's just, I see that, I peep that, and I'm sorry, I can't have that in my life anymore. And this is also just confirmation that you're not crazy. You're not insane, okay? Because something that happens when you're dealing with people that like gaslight you or don't treat you properly, or sneak diss or like something like that, you pull them up about it and they will just straight up lie to your face. They'll be like, you're literally reading into it too much. It's literally not that deep. It's not that deep. Like, you need to like calm down. You're really overreacting. Why are you so crazy? You know, you might have been dealing with people that were doing that to you, and as a result, that was like genuinely messing with your head, because you're like, oh my gosh, am I just overreacting? Am I like insane? Like, am I just being pedantic? This is your confirmation. No. You're not crazy. You're not insane. You saw, and they did do what you think they did. But sometimes, like, people are actually cowards, and they're not going to say, yeah, I sneak dissed you. Yes, I deliberately did that behind your back. Yes, I have been doing that. Yes, I've been playing you like a fool because I disrespect you. Like, I don't value you as a person. Yes, I exploit your kindness because I just think that you are just going to forgive me because you're a sweetie. You know what I mean? So, yeah. In future, moving forward, I feel like you're going to get a lot better at cutting people off the first time. The first time you peep some shady shit. The first time they act up. The first time, you know, they show you who they are, you're going to believe it, and you're not going to stick around and wait for the red to become neon red. You know what I mean? I feel like moving forward as well, you're dropping the people-pleasing tendencies. You're being straight up, and you're being like communicative. You are standing your boundaries, standing your ground, okay? You are communicating clearly, you're being upfront, you're being honest, you're not like keeping things quiet to like quote unquote keep the peace, because sometimes keeping the peace means disrespecting yourself. You know, it means just letting people do whatever they want to do. And you don't want to say anything because you don't want to like add fuel to the fire. The fire is already there. You know what I mean? So stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself. Don't let people exploit you. And yeah, I feel like that's part of the level up. You are becoming stronger. You are becoming stronger and tougher. And you are just you're like getting really, really good with your discernment. And, you know, people might say like, oh my God, you're so cold. Well, at least you're not naive, okay? Because when you're too nice to people, like being too nice to people is actually not a flex. Because being too nice to people is like bleeding in front of sharks. So you're using your discernment, you're using your intuition, you're seeing with your eyes, okay? And you're not turning a blind eye, you're not dismissing things, you're not sweeping it under the carpet anymore. And that's a level up, okay? That is a level up. It might mean that, you know, it's harder for people to get closer to you, but one of the ways that I kind of look at that sort of attitude is like, it might be harder for people to get closer to you, but that means that the people that do get closer to you are probably not little bitty, little ratty, smelly little snakes. You know what I mean? So I feel like you're picking quality over quantity, okay? It's not how many people you have in your circle and how many people you have in your support network. It's about who is actually real and who is actually genuine. You are a genuine person, so you need to have genuine people in your circle. I also feel like something that is changing is your relationship with yourself and your body and your health. That low-key rhymed. So slay on that. But I feel like your personal appearance is going to be changing. Yeah, I just in my head I just heard that quote that's like you need to be chopped before you can be served, before you serve and eat. You know what I mean? So you might be in a period right now where you're like, you low-key might feel like you're chopped, but by the end of the year, girl, you're going to be serving and you're going to be eating, okay? You're going to be like so fine. You already are so fine, but like the level up, the face card, insane. Body, insane. Heart and soul and aura, insane. Okay, so there's definitely going to be that. If you have been wanting to glow up and kind of like get hotter and get like sexier and get a better style and, you know, feel like a baddie again, the baddie is resuscitating. The baddie is coming back to life. And you also might be like changing your aesthetic, changing like the way that you wear clothes and what type of clothes you wear as well. So you could be like refining your wardrobe and like going through your wardrobe and clearing out all of the clothes that no longer, you know, fit your vision or fit your body properly or anything like that, or even clothes that remind you of a bad time in your life. You're like getting rid of them, you're getting rid of that energy. You're either donating some, you could be selling some and making some extra little pocket money, but you're really refining your look and refining your appearance, and you're really kind of finding what vibe you fit into, okay? Because you're not the same person you were 2 to 3 years ago. You're different. You have a different vibe. You're in a different season of your life, and so it's natural that what you gravitate towards and like how you want to dress yourself changes too. So I feel like that's going to be something that happens for you. And if you are somebody that is wanting to grow their hair or take better care of their hair and their skin and their body as well, like this is confirmation that that is something that is going to help you level up. When you do your skincare, body care, hair care, all of that for like one day, you're not gonna notice it. You know, you might feel like, oh my gosh, this is actually just super time consuming, and it's taking me like an extra hour, you know, in my routines every day just to do all of these skincare steps and like shampoo my hair and oil my hair and face mask and moisturize my body after a shower. You know what I mean? All of that sort of stuff definitely takes time, and you don't see the results straight away, but yourself in 1 year from now will definitely thank you, okay? So it's like you're putting in effort to do things every single day that contribute to your long-term health and your long-term well-being. Another example of this as well is like you could be incorporating supplements as well, you know, getting on the supplements and that sort of stuff, and making sure you oil your hair, and like you could also just be in general like taking better care of yourself, but like in a more natural way. So it's kind of like instead of just getting acrylics all the time, you're going to be focusing on taking your biotin and calcium supplements and oiling your nails, and, you know, letting your nails breathe for a while so that you can grow like healthy and long and strong nails. And with your eyelashes, instead of getting eyelash extensions all the time, you might just wear strip lashes every now and then when you want a more bolder look, but you could just more so be focused on letting your eyelashes breathe and investing in a good eyelash serum, or maybe using castor oil. And same thing with your skin as well. You might be going for a more like natural makeup look. It doesn't really have to resonate. You could also still do full glam and things like that, but it's like you want your skin to look good. So you're taking care of your skin, doing the things, doing the serums, doing the hydrating sprays. This card that I'm holding here as well, it is the Star card from the Aquarius Tarot, and she has like a bunch of tattoos on her arm. She's fully got a sleeve. So you could also be like upgrading your appearance by getting some more tattoos as well. And I also just noticed like the alignment that I have going on with all this air sign energy, because you've got the Queen of Swords, and I'm literally using the Age of Aquarius tarot deck. So I feel like you could be a air sign. You could be strongly Aquarius. I'm definitely feeling strongly Aquarius because the Star card also represents Aquarius in tarot. So you could be Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling with that. And with your career, you have the Three of Wands, Eight of Pearls, and the Eight of Wands. So your career is definitely expanding. It's definitely growing. So you are going to be going through a massive career level up, okay? You're going to be getting into a better situation. If you have been thinking about changing career paths or kind of changing the way that you do something in your career, you're going to be doing that as well. And this is your sign that making those changes are going to support your level up. But whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you have, it's like it's expanding, it's growing. Your money is growing. The Eight of Pearls is what I like to call my locked in card, okay? So you are really, really focused on bettering your skills, on really, I feel like what you're doing is an art. There's an art to it. There's a certain skill set that will help you level up. So you might even be like reading books or like putting an effort to learn how to level up in your career. So you might be reading like the 48 Laws of Power, or Rich Dad Poor Dad, or like something that's just going to really help you with your mindset and understanding like the psychology and that sort of stuff of how you can level up and how to work with people and kind of like how to understand what it is that they want. So this is your sign. If you've been thinking about doing those things will be very, very good for you. And I feel like it will definitely pay off for you. And you're going to be very, very, very good at what you do. I already feel like you have a natural talent for what it is that you are doing or wanting to do. You have a natural flair. So you already have that. But in order to get better, you need to really apply that focused, undisturbed effort, and you really need to lock in terms of that. Okay, so you're going to be getting better, faster, more efficient, and just kind of like getting more organized and productive, and just becoming really, really good at what you do, and getting so good that you're either training other people or teaching other people, or people are coming to you for advice. And like a year from now, they're like, how do you do this? How do you get into that industry? Like, how do you do so well? and your efforts are going to be very noticed and rewarded accordingly. So you might get a pay rise, like I said before, getting an influx of clients and money and being booked and busy. And I kind of feel like your results are kind of going to show very quickly and suddenly. So it's kind of like you put in effort for a long time and you kind of like maybe see slow and steady growth, but not nothing too crazy. But then all of a sudden it just like pops off and you're like, oh my gosh, this is like you're dumbfounded. You're really, really caught off guard when things really pop off for you. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here, just because I have other groups to do, and oh my gosh, I yap so much, and I feel like there's still so much more I could say, but I am just going to wrap it up here. If you enjoyed this reading and if it resonated, please like this video and subscribe. It definitely lets me know that you like my reading and that I'm doing good. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, then please reach out to me, because I would, I'm very open to suggestions. And if you would like your own personal reading, then definitely reach out to me on social media at Mr. Kamarama. I'm, this same username on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, although I mainly kind of just use Instagram and TikTok. But yeah, and on the 2nd of May 2026, my website will be live again, and you can book a tarot reading through my website, and I will also have Afterpay as well. And if you're not in New Zealand, then I do offer PayPal as well, so there's that as also. So thank you so much for your time, and I really, really hope that this reading encourages you to go forth, go live your best life, baddie. And if you do like hip hop and rap, then again, your song for your level up is Randy Orton, Key Glock. So yeah, that's all from me today, and I wish you all the best on your level up, and ka kite anō. Kia ora, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. If you selected the angel number 444, then this is your reading on how you are leveling up. So before I get into what your cards have to say, I feel like I want to talk about the angel number that you selected, because I definitely feel like there is significance to the number. And there's a reason why you chose it. You might have been seeing this number, coming up for you in your life. I'm kind of like seeing it in different places, or you might just have felt really drawn to it. 444 is a very powerful angel number. It is quite often associated with divine protection. And I personally believe that. I do feel like 444 can kind of be a sign from your spirit guides, or whatever it is that you believe in, that you are spiritually protected, and it is kind of like divine protection and encouragement. So it can mean that your guardian angels are present and offering you support during challenging times. So sometimes you can see 444 when you're going through a little bit of a difficult situation, and you're kind of wondering whether, things are going to work out for you, and whether you're going to like land on your feet. I feel like 444 can kind of be a sign that yes, you will land on your feet and things will work out for you. It can also represent stability and foundation, and can kind of symbolize being more set on your stability in life, like your life choices and your career, and your relationships, and trying to find security within those areas of life, and trying to find stability and just kind of working on your stability. And it can also be validation of your path. Seeing this number can indicate that you are in alignment with your soul mission, and it can kind of encourage you to keep moving forward. And kind of in general, it can mean, reinforcing you that you are not alone in your endeavors. And I feel like that you are not alone is relevant here, and I will get to that later. And it can be a bit of a wake-up call as well. It can be a sign to trust your intuition and pay attention to your environment, and pay attention to who is in your environment. And it can represent a time to stay focused and stay grounded as well. And I want to say stay the course, okay? Stay the course. I feel like, with your reading group number 2, I feel like one of the messages that you have to take away from this is you have to stay the course. You can't give up on whatever it is that you are doing or that you want to do. You have to stay the course. And I feel like, now I'm getting into your actual reading, I feel like your current situation, you could be being a little bit challenged, a little bit kind of like you're trying to do something, you're trying to achieve something, you're making progress, but you might be kind of feeling like things kind of keep distracting you, or having interference or something like that. And this is kind of your sign to keep going despite the distractions. Don't give up, because something that I've kind of like noticed in my own personal journey, to be honest, is when you are trying to get ahead, and when you are trying to achieve something, it can almost feel like there's something, there's always something that tries to get in your way, or kind of pull you back, or interfere with your progress, and things like that. And it can be really, really frustrating and really, really disheartening, but it is really important that you stick at it, you stay at it, and you stay disciplined and focused, and you don't let anyone steer you off course. Okay, I feel like you could be going through a bit of a realignment. I feel like you could be in the process of becoming a new version of yourself and creating a new life for yourself. But that can be quite difficult, because it can also mean that you are falling out of alignment with the people around you. So I feel like your environment and the people within your environment, your community, is very important to you at this time. It's really important that you have people around you that are supportive and encouraging, and not people that are naysayers, not people that are doubters. And you need to trust your intuition as well. If you feel like there is somebody around you that is doubting you, or, kind of like not believing in you, or kind of wanting you to fail, then that is probably a sign that that person should not be around you. And if they are a person that, you can't distance yourself from, like a family member or something like that, then at the very least, stop telling people your goals. Stop telling people your dreams. I feel like if you have big dreams, if you want to achieve something that people around you haven't achieved before, if you tell them that, you're gonna get a bunch of like shit thrown at you. People are gonna talk down on you. People are going to say that it's embarrassing. People might try to say that you're delusional. People might say, oh, it's not gonna work. People might try and tell you to do something else, and like put ideas in your head like, oh, that's not gonna work. You should do this instead, You know your truth. You know what works for you, and I think that you should stick to it. You should stick to your vision, and you should listen to your intuition above everything else, okay? And I know it can be really, really difficult, and it can be really isolating to do that, but it is very important that you listen to yourself, and it's so important that you kind of protect yourself and protect your environment, because I feel like something that I kind of see with people that are trying to get ahead or do something for themselves is that you can have people around you that are just negative, and just have like this energy that is just not supportive towards what you are doing. And it is so important that you don't pay any attention to them. You do your best to kind of like distance yourself from these people, and you stay the course, okay? Like, don't let other people get to you. Don't. Because I think if you do, you're going to end up regretting it. And in 10 years from now, you're going to be looking back at this time and you're going to be thinking, oh my gosh, I wish I did that thing. I wish I didn't let people get to me. So don't let people get to you, okay? I know it's frustrating sometimes, but stick to your guns, okay? And I feel like, in terms of your identity, I feel like you are becoming someone that you've never been before, and you're trying to create a new life for yourself. And you could be kind of, I said before, like falling out of alignment with the people around you, and your environments, and kind of just feeling like you're in the wrong places, and that the people around you are kind of like not the type of people that you should be having around you anymore. And this is your confirmation that it is totally okay to do that. And you may already have moved away from a very significant place, or, distance yourself from people that you were once really close with. And you did that because you needed to focus on yourself and focus on your dreams. But you could have people that are still talking about you, or bringing up your name, or trying to villainize you for putting yourself first. And it can be quite difficult as well, because when you are trying to become someone new, I feel like sometimes the people that you once knew and people that have known you for a long time, they can really associate you with a certain identity, and it can be really, really hard for them to fathom that you can grow as a person and you're not the same person that you were, when you knew them or when you were close, okay? And sometimes it's really hard for people to kind of separate that, and I feel like sometimes there's even people that want you to still be the same. And I feel like those type of people are not the type of people that should be in your life. What I'm thinking about is I'm kind of thinking about this. She's a business owner now. She's a very successful business owner, but she's also very open about the fact that she used to be on, the wrong path. She used to be a bit of a party girl and drink a lot and, not be like a businesswoman, And I can only imagine that when she did start, putting in energy towards her business and creating a new life for herself, and she's doing incredible, by the way, there would have been people around her that have known her for years and be like, oh, please, she's never gonna make it. She's never gonna make it. She's not gonna last. You know, she's a party girl. She drinks. You know, she's this and she's that, and tying her to a person that she no longer is. You know, and I can imagine that she definitely had to protect herself in that way and ignore the haters and ignore the naysayers. And I feel like this is your reminder to do the same as well. You actually have a card in your reading which is the Four of Swords, and it is talking about mission and protection against slander. I'm using the Angel Tarot card deck, by the way, if you wanted to know what deck I'm using for you. So I definitely feel like that there are people from your past that are talking about you, and I feel like you can feel it, you know, and I feel like you might feel really shit about it, and it might be giving you a bit of like performance anxiety, and it might be, you know, kind of affecting your confidence in yourself and your ability, because you might be like, oh my god, what if they're right? Or, you know, what if I do the thing and I fall flat on my face and they laugh and they get the satisfaction that I failed, you know? And this is your reminder to kind of like affirm that the only person that can stop you from achieving your goals is yourself. You are the only one that is responsible for getting in your own way at this point, okay? So don't let other people get to you. Really, really try and push those narratives out of you, because they don't belong to you, okay? The lack of belief that you might have in yourself, the fear that you might have, the anxiety that you might have, even the doubt that you have, those don't belong to you. Those come from your environment. Those come from the people that you have previously been around that are like low-key haters, you know? And you definitely need to like ignore that, block that out, and keep doing your thing. And you also might be feeling like a little bit sad because we've got the Five of Cups card, and we also have the Regret Oracle card as well. So you might be regretting some things, or feeling some sort of sadness about like your past or people in your past, or, you know, kind of feeling shitty because like you were like, I don't know why they're hating on me. Like, I don't know why they're saying these things about me. You know, like if you're a social media creator, because I do attract people that, you know, are trying to create something for themselves online as well. So you might be like, oh my god, these people from my hometown, they're like sending my stuff to the group chat. You know, I'm looking on my posts and I'm seeing all these shares, and I know somebody is sending my TikToks. You know, I know somebody's hate watching me, and it feels so shit. And it does feel shit. It's not nice. It's not a nice feeling. It's not an empowering feeling. You know, it's a really, really uncomfortable, yucky feeling, actually. And, you know, it's easy to kind of feel, you know, like, especially if you are an intuitive person, which I really feel like you could be. You could be like a intuitive person and kind of be able to just kind of feel, you know, there's people around me, you know, there's people that are watching me that are not, they're not watching me because they like me and want to see me succeed. They hate watching me. You know, they're keeping up to date with me because they hate me. They don't like me. You know, they don't want me to do well. And I honestly feel like that there are genuinely people that are, you know, they're low-key, like they hate watching you, but they don't actually hate you though. I feel like they're like secretly just jealous, or secretly just feeling like some type of way because you're trying to achieve something and they're still in the same place. You know, they're still doing the same thing. And they're kind of looking at you, and they might be making fun of you, like, oh, they think that they're all that now. Oh, they think that they're this fancy influencer. Oh, they're trying to be like this influencer. And it's kind of like, well, what are you doing with your life? You know? And you look at the people that are like sending your videos to group chats and stuff, and, you know, they don't live lives that you want to have. They're not people that you want in your circle. So I feel like try and reframe that. Don't accept advice from someone whose life you wouldn't want to live. And like, why? Like, they're just bitter. They're just being bitter, and it's a yucky energy. I don't think you're the type of person that hate watches people. I think hate watching people is weird. I think people who hate watch people should go get a hobby, because it's like, if you don't like someone, what are you doing? Like, liking their stuff? Do you not have like a job or something? Do you not have something to do with your life? Like, maybe you should focus on yourself, focus on your lane, you know what I mean? And I think you are like a person that you focus on yourself. Like, you're not the type of person to tear someone else down for trying to achieve something. And yeah, definitely distance yourself from people that are like that, because you don't need that type of energy in yourself. And this is kind of like your permission to release guilt, to kind of, you might be feeling sad because you had to cut ties with people, and this is kind of your confirmation, like, no, you did the right thing. There is a reason why those people are not in your life anymore. There is a reason why you are not in that environment anymore. And I feel like sometimes, you could be experiencing a bit of divine intervention as well, and something that is, it can kind of be a little bit cringy, but I do think it's true, is rejection is, God's protection. So if something doesn't work out for you, it's because things are actually working for you. If you don't get what you want, it's because something else better is coming along for you. If you're trying to kind of like rekindle a friendship and it's not working, it's because that person is not for you anymore, and that is your sign. The universe is trying to say, like, hey, don't come this way, go that way. And I think with this reading, you need to move forward. Don't look at the past, okay? Those doors have closed for a reason. Don't go opening up those old doors. Don't go opening up those old connections. And you might be someone that's like a little bit nostalgic. You can still hold love for people from your past, but you can also acknowledge that those people don't have a place in your life anymore. You don't belong in those spaces anymore. You don't belong around those people anymore. You need to move forward, because there is new opportunities for you, and there are new people for you that are waiting for you. You have people that you have not met yet that are going to love the shit out of you, okay? I feel like 444 can also mean like your soul tribe. So you might be someone that is trying to find your people, trying to build your network of people that love you and support you, trying to, find people that want you to succeed, that support you, that, are proud of you and not afraid to show it. And you might be feeling shitty because you haven't found those people yet. You are going to find those people, okay? There are rooms that you haven't walked in yet that you are supposed to walk in. And if you keep walking the path, if you stay on the course, you are going to thank yourself in 10 years from now, okay? If you turn around and you go back to those old connections and, those old familiar things, you're not going to, be happy about what happens if you do those things, okay? If you go back to the past, you're just going to get dragged back down. So just keep moving forward. And I feel like the biggest way that you are leveling up is that you are moving on. You are moving forward. You are moving on from those old identities. You are not that person anymore. You are becoming someone new. And don't limit yourself. You can become anybody that you want to be. You can create a new identity for yourself. You can live whatever life that you want. You just have to stay the course. You just have to keep applying pressure and stay consistent and don't give up. If you are a social media person, don't stop posting, okay? I think a lot of people are scared to post because, you know, in order to get ahead, you've got to flop. You've got to keep posting even when you get 2 views. You've got to keep posting even when you get 3 unfollows. Like, you just have to stay the course. You just have to keep at it. Because one day you're going to thank yourself, okay? Your favorite influencer, the person that you look up to, they started with 0 followers and 0 views, okay? They probably put out some really cringy or crappy videos, some videos that they would never recreate now, but they had to do that because it got them to where they are now. So you got to stay the course. And I really feel like one of the other ways that you are leveling up is that you are finding the courage to take action on your dreams. And that is a massive level up because you have the Knight of Wands and you have the Emperor. So you are definitely trying to do something and create something. And this is your sign to keep at it and to do the thing that you want to do, and to just kind of like find that courage within you to start those things, you know, to do that creative pursuit. I feel like it is kind of something new because we've got the Knight energy here, so, you know, it's very like spontaneous type of energy. But you have the Emperor card, okay? So I do really feel like if you stay consistent with this is something that can be really, really beneficial for you. And it doesn't necessarily have to be social media. Obviously, like, apply it to your, you know, your context. It could be like starting a new degree, like studying something, entering a new field at work, picking up a new hobby, or like wanting to turn a hobby into like a passive income thing, you know, make some money from it, that sort of vibe, okay? So apply it to your situation. The point is to do the thing, okay? And to keep doing the thing. And don't concern yourself with what other people have to say. Don't concern yourself with that sort of stuff. Don't focus on the hate, okay? Something that might be really beneficial for you is to, instead of focusing on like the haters, everyone's got, like, if you don't have haters, you're probably not doing anything relevant, okay? People who are doing good things in life and who are doing good for themselves, they attract haters. Don't focus on those haters, because the haters are going to be the minority, okay? Unless you're Trump. And if you're Trump, well then that's low-key warranted. And if you're Trump, then what are you doing on this video? But like, if you focus on that, then you're gonna get lost in it. Focus on the supporters instead. Focus on the silent supporters. Focus on the people that do like your content. Focus on the people that watch your stories. Because, as you know, you might have people that are like hating on you, but you also have people that are supporting you. You also have people that want to see you succeed. You also have people that have never spoken to you that think so highly of you, and you need to stay the course. And like I said, you have rooms that you haven't walked in yet that you are supposed to walk in. You have people that you haven't met yet that you are supposed to meet. So stay at it. Stay at it, okay? You might be going through a little bit of a hermit period at the moment, because we've got the Hermit card, which is all about isolation. We've got the Four of Swords, which is about recovery, Five of Cups, and you got the Star. So there definitely seems to be like a vibe of, you know, healing and, you know, being in a little bit in solitude. But the way that I like to look at isolation periods is isolation before elevation, okay? If you are noticing that you are like alone a lot more than usual, that's actually a good thing. That means that you have the time and the energy to like genuinely pour into yourself and really, really focus on your own things, okay? If you are someone that is watching your friends drop like flies and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know why my friends are silent all of a sudden, you know, I don't know why I'm not getting invites to things anymore or something like that, think of that as like a sign for you to focus on yourself and focus on your dreams, because it is actually awesome when you don't have like as much people around you, because less people around you, less distractions. It means the only person that can stop yourself from achieving your goals or working on your goals is yourself. So it's a time for you to be selfish. Honestly, it's a time for you to be selfish and redirect your energy to yourself and focus on yourself, your goals, because honestly, like 3 months of solitude, 3 months of, being a little bit more private or hanging out by yourself is not only going to elevate the relationship that you have for yourself, it's going to help you, realize who you are without all of the noise, without the influences from friends. You're going to unleash and discover your true personality. You have the Speak Your Truth card. Stand up for what you believe in, regardless of the consequences. Speak your truth regardless of what others may think. It's time to stand in your own power. Shine for all the world to see. You also have instinct. Follow your natural instincts. You are making the current issue more complicated than it needs to be. Trust in the universe. Allow your intuition to guide you. You are always safe. There is also another card. There is nothing sadder than looking back on some part of your life with regret, wondering what you could have done but did not. Go for it. Sometimes it is better to try and fail than not to try at all. All is not lost. You still have time to turn the situation around. Let go of fear and apprehension and follow your heart. So I feel like I'm gonna leave the reading here. If you feel drawn to pick another group, then do so. But I really, really hope that this reading is helpful, okay? I feel like this is just your confirmation. Drown out the noise, drown out the distractions, and focus. Focus on your goals and your dreams and create that life for yourself. Because honestly, if you stay at it, if you stay consistent, no matter what your circumstances are, in 5 years from now, you're going to be living it. You're going to be living the life that you wanted. You're going to be living the life that you want today, okay? Don't let go of that vision. Hold it and nurture it and keep going forward, okay? And if you don't believe in you, I believe in you. I will be your hype girl, okay? I will encourage you. You have got this. Keep on going, okay? I'm excited for you. I really hope that this message really pushes you forward and is like, I'm like picturing like a little bird, like, go birdie, go fly, So go spread your wings, go do awesome, go create, go do the thing, and just, you never know what will happen in the future. So just go try. Trying is cool. So now I'm actually going to stop talking. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know if this resonated for you. Subscribe for more videos like this, and if you would like to book a personal reading, then you can do so. You can message me on Instagram or book a reading through my website, which will be live on the 2nd of May. But all the best to you. Ka kite anō. Kia ora, group number 3, and welcome to your tarot reading on how you are leveling up. If you chose the angel number 111, then you are in the right place at the right time, and this is your reading. So before I get into your cards, I wanted to start off with kind of telling you a little bit about the angel number 111. So you might be seeing that number around. It might be like low-key haunting you at this point. But in case you didn't know, here is what it means. So it is often a sign of powerful awakening, new beginnings, and manifestation. It is usually the OG number that comes to mind when people talk about manifestation, and I really do feel like that is really in alignment. I do feel like your level up has to do with what you are manifesting, because you do have the Magician card in your reading, which is about manifestation. So this is definitely in terms of your manifesting. 111 indicates that your thoughts are rapidly turning into reality, so you should focus on your desires rather than your fears. And this also talks about new beginnings. So this is a time for you to make a wish and take action and focus on the synchronicities, okay? So you are going through a little bit of a spiritual awakening at the moment as well, having a lot of sort of spiritual experiences, or noticing a lot of synchronicities and kind of being like tripped out and buzzed out by like all the signs and synchronicities and the way that things are kind of like relating to each other. I also have a song for you as well, and the song for you, group number 3, is NUEVAYoL by Bad Bunny. I don't know if I said that right. NUEVAYoL. I think that's right. I love that song. I think it is literally such a fun song. It always just makes me want to get up and dance. Like, it reminds me of like dancing and having fun and like being in like a club or something and like having a good old grand old time. So I feel like that is quite awesome. And I also looked up the lyrics in English, because obviously it's literally in Spanish. So some of the lyrics that really stuck out to me, you might want to look up the English version. If you want to have fun with charm and delight, so fun, delight, what else? I'm hanging out drunk with my cousin, feeling fly. So, you know, you might be having a good old time, having some fun. What else? And a lyric that really stuck out to me is, "'Cause the years go by and I'm still hitting hard, selling albums like Frida Kahlo paintings." So that is kind of like telling me that I feel like you are definitely about to hit some sort of success. I'm in my zone. I've got no rival. We're knocking it out of the park again. You've got swagger, baby. So do I. You're hot. So am I. This is a really fun song. If you want it, you've got to move it. Okay, so I really feel like you are definitely about to step into a very fun and prosperous season of your life. And I think that is definitely part of your level up, okay? You are definitely about to be having some fun, and you know, you might not be feeling like that right now. I think you want to be living la vida la loca, but you might be feeling a little bit la vida broca at the moment, because we've got the 5 of Pentacles here. So that is kind of telling me that you might be in a season, and it's okay. You might be in a bit of a season where the money is not pouring in. Matter of fact, it might be pouring out. Matter of fact, you might have bills coming out of your ears right now, and you might be under a little bit of financial pressure. And you might be, trying to find some new ways to make money or something like that. So this is definitely your sign that you are definitely going to be making more money. That is part of the level up. But I feel like that there is something interesting about the way that you make money. Okay, so I feel like the way that you make money is in a new way. So you're having like something coming in about money. finding a new way to make money that I kind of feel like is more so a little bit unconventional or a little bit creative. It's kind of like you have to, obviously if I say do the work, get the money, that sounds a little bit obvious, but it doesn't necessarily feel like a conventional way to make the money. So, in those lyrics, it's talking about, selling albums like Frida Kahlo's paintings, so there might be something artistic, something creative, something a little bit unconventional about the way that you make money. So there might be a particular idea that you have or a talent that you are about to make money off. So that's really interesting. That doesn't necessarily mean that you are an entrepreneur either. You could actually be working for somebody else as well. So you could be like, say for instance, you're a tattoo artist, you're a beautician. Those are both, in my eyes, those are both creative. Those are both creative pursuits, and for a lot of people that is, something that they aspire to do, and for a lot of people that can be like a dream for them to be able to do that, for them to be able to make money from their art. So that could kind of resonate for you if that is something that you're kind of thinking about, not necessarily specifically tattoo and like beautician work, but if there is like something kind of artistic, creative, something that you're really good at that you kind of want to find a way to monetize, I feel like that this is your sign. I feel like that is kind of part of your level up. I think the advice here though is you can't be delusional about it, okay? So you might be doing a little bit of money manifestation or trying to like align yourself with abundance and, align yourself with money making opportunities, okay? But you can't just, when you're manifesting, and I feel like sometimes this is where people get manifesting wrong, you can't just write things down and then kind of like expect it to fall out of the sky and into your lap. Sometimes, there are instances where things can actually genuinely like come to you with little effort, but you do have to put work in. You do have to, put practical things in place, okay? You can't say, let's just use tattoo artists. You can't say, I want to be a tattoo artist, and then not practice your art or not apply for an apprenticeship or, that sort of thing. So you actually do have to put in the work as well. Another thing is you also might be trying to kind of figure out what sort of direction you should take as well. So I think you definitely need to I don't want to say niche down, but it kind of does feel a little bit like niche down. So kind of stick with one sort of route and one sort of idea and kind of like put your energy into that rather than spreading yourself too thin, because I do feel like you are somebody that is quite like multifaceted. You're good at more than one thing. So you might be kind of thinking, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that, and I'm kind of thinking about this. Just choose your paths and then walk those paths. You know what I mean? Just kind of, you've got to focus a little bit, because I think at the moment things might be a little bit scattered, and might be a little bit like ungrounded. Sorry if you can hear that in the background. That's my cat. She has decided that she wants to have a little scratch on her little scratching post, and she's walking back out again. So she just wanted to have a little scratch and live her best little cat life. So love that for her, slay queen. But yeah, so there's definitely an energy here of you needing to change the way that you do things in order to become successful and get clear, because you might be just feeling a little bit confused, a little bit kind of like scattered, okay? So there definitely seems to be an energy of needing to get really, really focused on something, okay? And your success, the way that you're going to level up and kind of like hit the next level of what you want, is kind of through being a little bit obsessed about it. So rather than, putting your eggs in multiple baskets, you're gonna pick one basket to kind of like put your energy into, and you're gonna be really, really, really focused on this thing in order to nurture it, okay? I feel like in a way you have to be a little bit ruthless about what it is that you want to achieve, and you have to be like obsessed. You have to kind of be like, there's no other option. So at the moment it might be scattered, because you might have like, I'm really picking up something that's kind of like unconventional or artistic or creative. I mean, that is artistic, but you know what I mean? So that it's like you have a desire that is not conventional, but it's kind of like you're thinking that you need to be conventional, or you're thinking you need to be like practical, or have like a plan B or something, or decide to go down the yellow brick road instead. But really, you should really just feed more belief into what it is that you really, really want, because it's not actually unrealistic, okay? I don't think that what it is that you want to achieve in, or that you want to do, I don't think you're the first person in the world to make a living off it. There's definitely other people out there that are making a living off it, so it's possible, so rather than being like, oh, it's not really realistic, it's not really practical, I need to do this instead. I need to have like a steady form of income, and just kind of stick to that. And it's kind of like you're talking yourself out of your dreams. What you really need to be doing is really just focusing more on what it is that you actually want, and finding a way to take practical steps towards that. So the first cards that came out for you, actually, I do really feel like that this is your next level up, is definitely to do with your career, and definitely to do with your money. Those two things are obviously, they're one and the same thing, okay? You make money from your career, and the first cards that came out is the Devil, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. So when I saw that, I just kind of thought like about workaholic, somebody is obsessed about their career. Somebody is just like really, really focused on it. So you might have to do that, if you are starting something up, if you're doing like a creative thing, especially if there is like an element of uncertainty to it, you might also really resonate with group number 1 as well, because I kind of picked up something similar with them. I even used the example of like a service-based industry where you might rely on commission or something like that, so you might resonate with pile number 1 too. But it's kind of like you need to be so committed to it that you are like nearly borderline obsessed, because I think especially when there's a level of uncertainty that comes with what it is that you're doing to make money, you have to put in more work than what you would if you had like a regular job, okay? If you just worked like as a barista, for instance, if you just worked in hospitality, you just clock in, you clock out. You do your assigned hours, you do what's expected of you, and you just leave. But when it comes to something uncertain, it's like you have to put in more work. An example that I'm going to use is people who have like businesses and are self-employed. People kind of have this illusion that is like an easy road to take. Like, oh, that must be so fun that you work for yourself. you get to choose your own work hours. And it's like, well, actually, the reality of it is that you have to do everything yourself. You have to wear multiple hats. You know, you have to do the accounting and the marketing, and like, you are the staff team. You know, you have to do all of the work, and you have to work overtime to build it up from the ground. Okay, you have to work overtime. You have to work like ridiculously long hours. You have to put in free labor to make, money from it. So I feel like there's kind of like an element of that. There's an element of like you having to go a little bit above and beyond in order to get what you want. But at the same time, if it's something that you're really, really passionate about, it won't feel as dreadful. Like, if you have to work 60 hours a week on your creative endeavor, it's not going to feel nearly as torturous as like 60 hours working a job that you hate. So there's an element of that. You're gonna just really have to be like obsessed about it, honestly. I do actually kind of think that obsession can be healthy. So if you are somebody that is an obsessive person, you can channel your obsessive tendencies into your creative pursuits, and that is actually something like going to be something that actually benefits you. So you might have I'm not really picking up a lot of earth sign energy in this reading. I mean, you could, but I'm honestly feeling like more water and fire. Water and fire. So you might be like a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, or a Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. I'm really kind of picking up strong Pisces and Leo energy though. I'm picking up really strong Leo energy actually in this reading, so that might resonate for you. But you're gonna have to be really bold, in order to level up. You're gonna have to step out of your comfort zone as well. And yeah, like, it's something that you want. It's something that you want. It's something you want to achieve. That is, how you're leveling up. But you have to put in the work. You have to put in the action. You've got to be more strategic about it, and you have to go like, I really do feel like above and beyond, because I'm looking at this Devil card. I'm looking at the Ace of Pentacle cards. I'm looking at the Three of Pentacle cards, and that is just like, to me, that is kind of like a new project, like something that has the potential to turn into something really, really amazing. And then after that, we've got the Sun and the Magician. The Sun is all about success, it's like, that is a good sign. If you're asking about something, you get the Sun, that's like guaranteed success. And then you have the Magician, that's all about bringing your desires into life. You already have like all of the tools and the skills and the knowledge that you need to get started. You just actually have to do the thing and keep doing the thing. And I really do feel like you have to put the gas pedal on quite a bit. You're really going to have to put in a lot of energy and lock in with it. And I mean, I've said it more than once, like, be a little bit obsessed about it. You really might actually have to work overtime with it and do some late nights, work outside of, like, if you are working for a business, do some work outside of it. It's not really, I'm not really feeling like it's something that you actually like switch off from, that you clock in and you clock out, and when you clock out, you've actually clocked out. Like, I feel like it keeps going even after that. So like, you might have to do more training or practicing outside. So it's like you're really, really having to be like obsessed. And I feel like there's a period of like, I want to say 3 months where you go like absolutely ballistic on your dreams and your goals, what it is that you are trying to create, and like you really go hard on it. You push the gas pedal to the absolute max. But if you put in like that consistent, like, hardcore work for 3 months, at the end of those 3 months, you are absolutely going to thank yourself, and you're going to be, like, so much further ahead. I saw this quote that, like, if you do something every single day for 3 months, you can get, like, as far as somebody who does the same thing a couple of times a week for 1 year. So if you lock in for 3 months, you can genuinely put yourself a year ahead. And I really feel like that's kind of like the vibe for this reading. I don't think that this reading is necessarily going to resonate with everyone, because I do feel like this is quite like, I do really feel like this is quite like entrepreneurial and quite like creative, and I know that I feel like I do attract a lot of people, that are attracted to my readings and stuff, that are, into content creating, that are artistic, and that sort of stuff, that are wanting to kind of like do their own thing, or are quite like unconventional in some way. So, another thing that I'm just going to say it because it's there, it's been there this whole time. You might be working in a spicy industry, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I can say it because it's YouTube. You might also be working in like the spicy industry, and if you are part of the spicy industry, did I just say never mind. You might actually be part of the spicy industry, and if you are, then this is your confirmation that you definitely picked the right pile, because no other pile really I got that vibe. But we've got the devil here, so I feel like there is a potential for you to like make a lot of money in a short amount of time. But in order for you to like make amount of money in a short amount of time, like you have to go real hard at it, like you have to, don't overwork yourself, but like you've definitely got to apply the pressure, and you're like locked in for a short amount of time, but it gets you further ahead. And if you are part of the spicy industry, I just want to say, like, I see you, love you, support you. This is a very safe and inclusive space. No whorephobia over here, okay? And also, for the record, I'm 28 years old. Okay, so we're all grown-ups here. We're all adults here. If you're a minor, you shouldn't even be watching my videos. So, I just have to say that. But, like, yeah, I just have to say that. I really do. I feel like this is a really short and sweet message. I don't really know what else to say, to be honest, because I feel like that's kind of like all you need to hear. I feel like you're like in the dreaming, planning, kind of thinking stage at the moment. You're just about to lock in. You're about to lock the absolute in and kind of like be a temporary workaholic for like 3 months. But I'm also kind of like picking up an energy of like working hard so you can play even harder. And I think the song, like that song that I kind of pulled up for you at the start of the reading, that kind of like indicates that as well. Like he's really successful, he's got a lot of money, and he's enjoying that money, if you know what I mean. He's using that money to have fun. And I do feel like that's kind of like something that is going to be happening for you too, but I feel like it's going to come after a season of you being able, like after you having to like completely lock in and like not do those things, like not socialize, not party, like not have a lot of fun. Like you have to be like hardworking and serious for 3 months, and then after the 3 months, that's when you can have a little bit of a party. That's when you can have some fun. That's when you can enjoy your money, enjoy the money that you make. So I do feel like you're about to make money. you know? And I do think that the money is going to come through something artistic, something creative, something unconventional, something that a lot of people don't usually do because there's a level of uncertainty about it. So this is your sign. Your money is going to increase. Yeah, it's going to increase, and I want to say loaded. Like, I really do feel like if you really go hard for 3 months, you could make so much more money than you think. You know, it's like you're putting in basically all of your time to get ahead. But it pays off, literally, in the end. So that kind of brings me to the end of your reading. That's like a short, sweet reading in comparison to the other groups. But I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it gives you the boost that you need. The level up is mainly, it's money related. Money level up, career level up. So yeah, go for it. Go forth and make that money. So that kind of brings me to the end of your reading. If you liked this reading and if it resonated with you, please do let me know, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos, because I'm trying to stay consistent at this and, you know, keep doing this because I love it. And if you would like to book your own personal tarot reading, you can do so. You can message me on Instagram or book directly through my website from the 2nd of May 2026. But thank you so much for listening to this reading, and I hope that it helped. And much love to you, and ka kite anō.